Here's the backup cam I am installing this evening. This came from Crutchfield. So I'm going to show you how I ran the wire in my Honda Pilot here. This is a first gen Pilot. So first thing was mounting it to the license plate bracket here. It comes with bolts that make it more secure so this thing can't be stolen, I guess, but I'm in Vermont. I'm not really worried about that. So I just use the license plate bolts here to bolt it on. Now the wire comes up. Now, some videos I've watched, they end up drilling through the metal right here, or maybe right here, drilling through metal. As you can see, there's salt all over this car here, so I didn't want to expose any metal if I didn't have to. So what I ended up doing was actually drilling a hole through the plastic part of the license plate light bulb lens here. So I drilled a little hole right through there, and that gave me just enough room to poke it through there so I didn't have to drill through any metal. So I'll bring it to the other side. So here, let me zoom in. Here's where that came through on the back of the license plate light lens right there. Now we'll just follow this back. So I just taped it to the existing harness here. So this is it. This is where it connects. So now we're connected to the actual long run, the 25-foot video cable here. So this made it a little more difficult that at the other end is one of these yellow RCA plugs as well. And it's kind of big. So if it was just this wire, it would have been a little bit of an easier job. I wrapped it around the harness a couple times as we went through. You can see it's kind of twisted around the harness, coming through. All right, there it goes. And now we're to this point. So we go through here and come down to this rubber boot right here. So what I used for this part was just a zip tie. Taped the yellow end to this. Actually this way, so I taped the yellow end back here. So now I could use this zip tie to go down through here and come down where this rubber boot comes in. So this rubber boot you can pull right off. That just comes right off. The whole thing comes off. Same here. So I pulled off the rubber boots on both ends. And this was one of the trickier parts because, again, because of that big yellow plug you're dealing with, it's not that easy to get through this. It just was barely making it. So what I did was lubricate it with some dish soap and water, just about 1-to-1 mixture of dish soap and water. And then I put this through the boot and was able to get it through the other end, grab this end with needle nose pliers, and then I was able to pull that whole yellow plug through. Now we're in the kind of frame of the SUV at this point. So this rubber molding comes right off. You can do it with your hands, if I can. Come on. There we go. So this all comes right off. And now you have access to the headliner. So this was the part I was most concerned about. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. So there you can see the cable. So at this point, I hooked it up to an electric fish tape, whatever you want to call it. So this is, I used electrical tape to tape the RCA head to this and started running it through the headliner. So this is where I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. There's a million things it can hit, but it actually did really well. It was one of the simpler parts of this. It just ran straight up through there. And I hit a couple things on the way, but for the most part, it worked out okay. Now, this Pilot has a sunroof, so that definitely made it easier. So at this point, you could pull the headliner down, and it sounds like you're breaking it, but it's because there's like some hard plastic Velcro right there. So that's what's actually holding this on, and you just kind of pop it off. So I was able to get the cable right to here. Come on, with the fish tape. So I grabbed it, pulled it all the way through here, and then ran it along the side over towards the door jamb over here. So I don't know if you can see it right through here. You can't see it, but Anyway, it comes out right there. Let me back up. So there it is, comes out right there. Same deal here. To access this part of the headliner, you pull off the molding just like you did in the back, and it goes back in very easily. So I ran this just right down through here where the molding sits. And you can see it running down, running down. I've left it loose right here just to show you guys. At this point, it goes back here. I had to kind of separate this a little bit. This is just some plastic, so you could push it and kind of separate it a bit to get the yellow plug through there. It comes out on the other side by the fuse panel. All right, here. So there you can see it. It's right here. Here we go. Ran it up over the steering column. See it there. And then used the fish tape again. I came down from the stereo bay down to here and used the fish tape to grab it. And use that and pulled it up through to right here. Now we're ready to plug it into the back of our new stereo.